broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Houston, Texas. It's time for Houston Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hello, Houston. Trisha Stetzel here, bringing you another episode of Houston Business Radio. Today's guest is Andre Ankri, a veteran entrepreneur and AI automation consultant who helps leaders work smarter without burning out. Originally from Israel and now based in Canada, Andre brings a military mindset to modern business through his work leading Candor, where he helps companies use AI and automation to reduce friction, reclaim time, and build stronger teams. Andre is also a passionate advocate for extreme honesty, being radically candid about strengths, limits, and systems, and for neurodiversity, openly sharing how ADHD, dyslexia, and OCPD have become leadership superpowers rather than obstacles. His perspective blends human intuition, technology, and mission-driven leadership focused on clarity, trust, and sustainable performance. Andre, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be a guest, and thank you for the invite.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on with me today. So, Andre, will you tell us just a little bit more about you?
Yeah. So my name is Andre Ankri. I grew up in Israel. I moved to Canada around almost 15 years ago. Kind of as the background of growing up, I'm the oldest from 4 boys. I trained for over 15 years in karate. That is kind of embedded in me, I guess, for discipline. I serviced IDF, Israeli Army, as a technical a fighter engineer, dealing with kind of explosive. That was a very interesting job. As I mentioned, I immigrated to Canada almost a bit less than 15 years ago. I built my first company in Canada called UTS Group, that is a security, integration, and design company that we service pretty much Canada and the US in the commercial area, working also a lot with municipalities, the police, army, kind of helping them how to automated security. Through my journey, I also own another glazing and commercial glazing company. So we do glass and aluminum work again in the commercial area. And kind of my, let's call it, the thing is more for the soul than a business, is Candor. Candor is a business consultation that we focus on AI, automations, helping businesses to bring them up to, usually until a few days ago I said to 2025, but to 2026 technology, and to kind of understand how to manage businesses smarter from a place of how to work smarter, not harder, and how to communicate better and create a better communication through systems. And a lot of them is kind of more based on my experience. I'm very proud to have ADHD, OCPD, and I'm again a level 5 dyslexic. But I'm showing people how these things are not an obstacles. I call them as superpowers. And today, especially with AI, it's kind of bridging the gap. And I really like to share it with people and educate around it and show them that it's, like I said, it's not an obstacle. Like there is things that coming with have ADHD for a mind that is able to run faster and pay attention for more details. That it's an amazing tool that I call it a gift from God. That when I grew up and understand and become more honest with myself, I understand it's actually how it helped me in a lot of areas, even when as a kid training karate and competing as well in the army. That all of that is the thing that kind of creating our personality and creating us to be unique. So it's not a disease, it's not an issue, it's not a disability, it's a gift.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the reasons why I wanted you to come and join me on the show, because there's so much for us to unpack today. I'd love to start with, because you're demonstrating it as you and were introducing yourself and talking about the things that you've done over your lifetime and the things that you've been dealing with and the superpowers that you have, and that's extreme honesty. So you talk about extreme honesty as a turning point for you. What does that actually look like in day-to-day leadership, and why is it so uncomfortable for most founders?
So there is a few things related to that one. First of all, it's something, there is different type of owners. So we have people that built a company, so they have a job. The people that own a company and they're operating the company, so I don't call them business owners, they're business operators, because the business is not able to work without them. And then there is the higher level that is coming with your level of leadership, that you actually become a business owner, because you own a business, you don't work in the business is not needing you. Also part of honesty, everybody start a business so they have a job. When I started my first business, I have a young kid, I moved to Canada, I just got married. It was not about building something. I didn't find my why back then. My why was, I need an income. I need to put food on the table. And with growth and kind of understanding, you understand to which level of a business owner you are, and also understanding where you're good. For me personally, it came that the company grew quite a lot, and then I understand that in order to take it to the next step, I have to go through two very big obstacles. One, it's my emotion connection to the company. I was saying for many, many years, when people were talking about my business, I said, this is my baby. And it was a very foolish thing for me to say. I have two babies. I have my son and I have my daughter. They are my only babies. And a lot of people are connecting to their business emotions, and it's making them hard to make decisions, because emotion connections and not being actual honest of what need to be done. On my company for UTS, so the second the company growth, I had to come to a place of honesty to know if I want to take the company to the next step, and I really want to sustain the company. There is one person that was a very important part in the company, but now is a liability, and that person is me. I need to get out. I'm interfering. And it's coming for a place to understand what type of a business person I am. I'm not an operator. I'm not a person that fit to operate a company, because I like excitement. It's related to my ADHD. I like stuff moving. So I'm a leader that is good when there is a crisis, a good or a bad one, a crisis of growth, crisis of almost, again, company losing money. I'm a good leader when we want to launch something new and to run different ideas and to get stuff. But I'm not the right leader to run a business to sustain. And in the word of Jim Rohn, he's saying there's two different types of businesses. There's an exciting business and there is a boring business. Exciting business is losing money. A boring business is making money. And it's not boring because what you do is boring. It's about sustainability of the system, the way it's growing. I'm not able to manage a boring business, because I will create an excitement and then I'll create something. And it's also not fair for my team, because I'm not giving them structure. I'm not giving them stability, because I will see something and say, guys, all right, we're going to start opening another branch in Alaska, because I saw something, I came with an idea, and now I want to go with it, because I need excitement as a person that have ADHD. And over the years, it's kind of met to kind of understand what is honesty. Honesty is understanding that if someone did a mistake, and I'm very strict in my businesses, I believe in the two mistake rule. The first mistake, sorry, three mistake rule. So the first one is, if someone did a mistake, it's an amazing thing, because you will learn from mistakes. Everybody's parents taught us not to touch the fire. We all touched it, and then we learn. We're going to get burned.
Nope.
The second time someone will do a mistake, you question it, like, hey, we spoke about it. We discuss it. It happened again. The third time, we're not a good fit. And if by implementing kind of that type of rules of kind of fitting with people how to work, it's also understand that doesn't matter who did a mistake in the company. I push people to do mistakes. I'm very proud of my mistakes. They are my biggest achievements in life. Every mistakes, every person that did harm to me, stole from me, and I had a lot of stories over the years from employees stealing, almost crushing the companies. And every person I see today, I will be hugging them and say thank you because they pushed me to do better. And this is kind of how we learned. But any person that did a mistake, if someone did something wrong to me, old employee that stole my client list or my business plan, I didn't keep my business plan safe enough. I didn't keep my cards where I needed to. There is only one person's fault. It's my fault. If an employee did a mistake, I didn't provide enough training. Or if he did it many times, I didn't stop it in a way to maybe that person had to be replaced. So as my team, I always telling them, doesn't matter what mistakes you did, let's learn from it. At the end of the day, it's all my mistakes. Again, it's all coming back to me. It's my fault to deal with that, and that to be honest. And the honesty in that part is a part of a maturity as a leader, to understand that one, it's okay to do mistakes. We don't need to cut people's head. And I was never like that all the time. I learned it over years. When I look back, I think I was a very aggressive and maybe even abusive manager person to work for. And I lost good people around the way, but I had to get mature and understand better from it. But there is understanding that mistake will happen. You cannot make a system that is bulletproof. When we're setting up process, is how to measure it. What is a success? What is a failure? What is the value of the failure of that stuff? How we going to make sure that it's going to happen? And even if I take everything in consideration that something will never happen again as someone steal my business plan or client list, I can never expect for 100%. Stability is always, for me, it's 70%. I create system that can give me a steady 70%, maybe a little bit more, but I'm always expecting that there will be a failure. One, we're going to learn from it. Business change, need is changing. So you need to be aware of stuff is happening and not to be surprised if something is making a mistake. Like even if I will do security for our office and everything, will stop someone from breaking in? It depends if it's worth it. They will. There is always a way. So if I'll come in the morning and I see that the window is broken, maybe there was a good reason, and this is why we pay insurance. So why to kill the day and getting upset or giving shit to someone about it? It's not worth it. I'm not saying that sometimes we give the shit, but it's to be aware and understand everything and just to be honest. And part of myself, be honest with myself. I'm not very open for people that are unhonest. So the team around me has to be extreme honest. And honest saying, like people that I like, if someone come to me and say, Andre, the idea you came in the meeting, it's stupid. I will like, for me, it's like the best thing. It's like, okay, tell me why. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. People that will say the opposite, they say, Andre, your idea was so great. I'm like, okay, you're not for me. I want the guy that said that I'm stupid and tell me and how I can actually learn from him. And this is kind of more understanding it. And it's honesty also led to curiosity. If you want to be curious, you have to be honest of what you don't know. If I'm in a meeting with my accountant and he's using a word I don't know, I need to stop and say, hey, what is that word? It doesn't make me less. I'm just honest. I don't know it. And I'm curious to know more. So that is pretty much in a recap, kind of my approach that has changed me as honesty. And just to be honest with myself, it's also it feels very lighter, to be honest. Some people find it to be, I have a sign that actually I got from my wife that's saying, I don't sugarcoat, my name is not Willy Wonka. And it's just because I just say the truth in the face for people. And some people are not ready for it because they're not honest with themselves, but we cannot control them. So it's a mindset in the end of the day.
But I love that everything that you talked about here really surrounds personal responsibility and mindset. Going from being an operator to an owner. It's a mindset shift. You have to think about your business differently. You can't call it your baby when it's your business. And that's a
Exactly.
mindset shift. And taking the personal responsibility when things are happening around you, that it's something that you can control and it's something that you can do something about, and having the right people on your team doing the right things in the right way. All of that is so important. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I love the idea of extreme honesty. And I like Willy Wonka too, but I do like sugar coated every once in a while. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I would love to talk about how um, your superpower
Mhm.
and the misunderstanding around neurodiversity, because a lot of people wouldn't say that ADHD, dyslexia, and OCPD are a superpower. So let's talk more about the way that has shaped the way you think, prioritize, and build systems that you've been talking about.
So ADHD, the way that my wife, again, so my two kids have ADHD as well. And when my oldest son was actually diagnosed, my wife told me about it, and she was like, he got diagnosed with ADHD, and she is a person that does not have it, and she's a social worker. It came from a place kind of more giving me a message about something happened. And my response to it is like, great, I'm super happy for him. And she's like, yeah, but I told him it will be hard, but I'm super happy for him. And the same thing happened after that with my younger daughter. The reason that ADHD, over the years, again, as a kid, I never was medicated. And now as an adult, I do see it very important for me to get medicated because, again, the body change and we need more. I'm not as active as I was when I was younger. So I need something to calm me down. And understanding that, yes, ADHD, there is a lot of great things. I can when we'll discuss, I can speak with someone, for example, in a meeting, and he will give me an idea. By the time he finished the idea, I already have a business plan running in my head because it's like I have a few different computers running at the same time, and it's only on stuff that interesting me. If it's something that doesn't interest me, my head is just going to something else, and I'm disconnecting. It's kind of a gift and a problem sometimes in the same time, and you need to know how to balance it. But I kind of took it to a place. I'm a very curious person, as I mentioned earlier. And I'll give you examples. So, for example, my office. Uh, all my team is sitting in a different office. My office is literally a separate unit in the building that is only myself. As you see behind me, I have a lot more windows. All my windows are always shut. So I cannot see anyone moving around because I'm on the main floor. Usually now the light is on, but usually the light is off. So I don't see anything. I have in front of me 5 screens. Every screen has a job. This is more my OCPD. So there is one as the main one for browser, one for my AI, one for my chats. Everything has to be organized. By having everything very extremely organized, and my office is like a China store. Everything is in its place, very organized. It's coming a lot of boxes in my head. So let's say the box about organizations. The second everything is super organized, I don't have to think about it. Nothing is like, oh yeah, I have to put that. No. Every place, everything has a place for it to come. I have a charger for every device related on my table. Everything is in the reach of a hand. I don't have to get up because if I get up, most likely something will take my attention and I'll do something else. So I'm sitting in a very specific way. My back is to the window. So even if there will be something happen, no there. I'm using headphone with noise cancellation. So even if someone will speak from the second floor or the next, I'm focused on what I need to do. So it's helping myself to eliminate a lot of other stuff. What is creating me more space of capability in my head to do other stuff, to utilize kind of the space of the running power. And the biggest thing that I found, so for example, when I come to a client to sit in his office, every person office has showing about his personality. So I'm coming to do kind of a sale. If I'll come to someone's office and I see in his office, I'll see in his office that his office is, there's no anything private in the office. Everything in the office is very generic. There's no picture of kids. There's no picture of going golfing or cars or anything. It's pretty much telling me, all right, this person or is new for the job or is not that invested. For sure, is not the owner without even saying to me, because there's no ownership to the place is going, and or if the place doesn't feel comfortable. And it started only from that. And from that, I start taking it to kind of much wider of understanding people. And I found that the ADHD allowed me to, as I speak with someone, to kind of analyze all of that information. It's kind of more become as a game. Because when people are coming and meeting, there is a lot of stuff of common things that happened. Let's say as a technician is coming to provide an estimate for in your house to kind of let's say fix the dishwasher. And by going over there, you expect someone to come with a commercial van, maybe a pickup. He will work a cargo pants or a jeans. He will have a binder or a tablet to write information, and he have a toolbox. This is what your head is expecting someone to come and to do. What do you do if that person coming with a suit? How are you going to feel? Something does not match here. I took that approach and I embedded in our business. So I'm the person who's actually coming in a suit for, again, to the commercial sites. And I found that I was able, instead of me fitting to a template, to a box in people, what they expect will happen from that meeting, people were actually, I was able to open my own box. And to utilizing that I can run the information much faster and to create a different experience through that. And that is kind of as an example on sales. And we did it in different areas of the businesses that I do, of analyzing, of able to go more deep research, understand who is my clientele, what they want. And today with Metador, a lot of companies, what they want from your consultation say, Andre, we have an idea for a product. We want to do a product, they will do that and that. And then we're doing a session of say, okay, who is your client? How are you going to reach out to him? Why are they going to go? And the ADHD is able for me to go very broad, very wide of understanding people better. Of course, it's not only ADHD. I love reading. Like I said, I'm curious. I read a lot of book of understanding everything, but it's able to work for me that I'll have a much bigger library to work with everything, and that I'm utilizing kind of all the tools and eliminating the stuff is bugging me to higher production. And this is kind of the benefit that coming from that. And this is what I'm saying. It's a gift. I enjoy it. Enjoy it a lot. And when people kind of even when I remember as an adult, I was supposed to I got re-diagnosed again, and they asked me about medication. I was very afraid that something will take it for me, because I'm afraid that it will create my way of thinking to be narrower, that I'm not able to kind of see stuff in a more wide way. And now specifically with implementation of AI, what I call the technology revolutions we are going through right now, that we're very lucky to be part of it, you can take it to the next level. Because now I have more tools to kind of helping me even to, again, do a few things in the same time, and review a few things in the same time, and communicate with more people, and to share and automated more ideas. Like I have a tool of AI saying to me, pretty much I can do whatever you want if you know how to use me properly. And for me, it's a huge sandbox. It's amazing, and we're creating crazy things that allow us to also to grow as company. And everything is coming from understanding for the ADHD. And the other thing about the ADHD, it came back to the honesty. A person with an ADHD cannot be an operator. This is how I understand of what type of a leader I am, what type of a manager, of who I'm able to work with. And that, again, is the best gift I got from God. And this is why I call it a superpower. Because any gift we get, if a person knows how to paint, or you know how to play the piano or anything, if you're actually seeing it as a gift and is focusing around it, it will become a superpower eventually. So it's kind of our choose if we want to activate our superpower or not.
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, back to that personal responsibility and taking responsibility for yourself and the superpowers that you have and the way you think about them, the way you think about the things that you have right there in your hand, right? Or in your body or in your mind. I love that. You started to integrate the discussion around AI as well as neurodiversity. And I see how that you're using them together. But I also think, and you've talked a lot about this as well, that human judgment, intuition, and trust are so important. So, for those who are listening, how do we balance, Andre, between technology and that actual human interaction, that judgment, that intuition, and trust that we have? How do we balance those two things?
I think, first of all, about human interaction. So, as a like a lot of people, kind of I share with them, and I tell them I'm a very shy person, and like, Andre, you're not shy at all. I told them I'm not shy because I choose not to be shy. But as a person, I was again a very introvert in a way. But the second that I understand why I was introvert, because I was thinking about stuff that, for example, my head, again, ADHD is also led to a lot of negative thinking. And the ADHD actually made me to think that I'm an introvert, because if I don't think positive, be positive, ADHD will tell me, okay, you're not good enough. Or if you, as a person that kind of always was fighting with my weight, is like, okay, you're overweight, so that people is over there, as you hear them whispering, they're talking about you.
Mm.
And by being honest with myself, saying, this is who I am. I do the stuff that is making me feel good. So for me, for example, as a kid, when I was kind of, someone will ask me kind of what I want to be when I'll be older, I'll tell them a profession. But for me, what was actually, I want to wear suits. I don't know what I want to do yet as a kid, but I really love to see how people wearing suit. I find it to be very, very nice. So my goal was, doesn't matter what I'm going to do, I want to wear a suit. But I found the suit was much more than that. It was what I call my armor, because then it
Mm.
gave me my kind of confidence, because now I start my morning and I started with a success of doing something that I want, positive. I'm wearing something that I like, that make me feel good. So my interaction with other people of understanding, this is who I am. I'm doing what is good for me, and I'm fulfilled with myself. I'm okay with understanding who I am. I don't think that I'm less than other people, and this is why I don't, I, as a person, again, if you go on my email and everything, I don't have a title. You'll never see it saying CEO or even on my email. But the only thing I wear is kind of as brass on my shoulder is my ADHD and dyslexia and stuff like that. That is kind of the opposite from it, because I'm very proud of, because it's who I am. Like
Mhm.
it's not something I say, okay, it's an issue. Okay, I cannot do it because that and that.
Mm.
No, it's who I am, and the second I'm okay with who I am, I don't really care about what other people is saying about me, because I know, of course, I care about other people's opinions or feelings, but I don't allow them to affect about myself. The AI part is helping us where we're struggling, is where we
Mm.
can take areas that we have issues with and to create them to be better. Is, for example, it's from a place of a organization, if in a place for remind me about need to do something, or to organize my stuff so I won't forget about it. AI is a tool.
Mm.
I always combine, when people saying we read a lot of stuff about AI, about how dangerous and will take people jobs and stuff like that, and I'll say AI won't take people jobs. Someone that know how to use AI will take people's jobs. Uh,
Mhm.
but AI is a tool. It's the same thing as if a new drill will come up that has new features, bigger battery and everything, every carpenter will want to use it. AI is a drill. We just need to learn how to use it, and we need to be curious enough and willing to put the work to see how it can help me. And today I actually read an article this week. Over 95% of the people using AI don't know how to use it. They think they know how to use it, but they don't know how to use it. And because nobody is
Oh.
actually putting the effort to train it. to understand it, to be curious of how it's supposed to be. They're more want to say, hey, yeah, of course, I'm using AI to answer my emails. It's not what AI was designed for. If you wanted to answer your emails, you don't have to use it. You will answer your emails for you. But it's not what was designed, that they don't understand the tools they have. They're pretty much using the drill as a way to hold papers. And that is kind of more as curiosity and understanding of saying, first of all, like I said, happy with myself, who I am, and the way I present it to other people. And AI, how it can help me for the force. It's a tool. How I can use it so it'll be easier for me to communicate when I'm talking with people. So let's say if I'm in a meeting, if I will start writing notes during a meeting with you, it will be hard for me to focus as a person that have ADHD. So AI has a note taker and will activate it during our meeting, and now I can be focused on you. So it's bridging the gap. If I write you a text freely myself, you won't understand anything. There'll be like 50,000 spelling mistakes. So I'll speak to my phone, he will fix my grammar, and then he will send it to you, and you'll bridge me the gap. Because before that, I was shy to send people text because they say, hey, it's a mature person is writing with the spelling mistakes. So this is the areas we can use that tools to help us as a tool, not a solution, not a replacement. But first of all, it's about us being fulfilled with ourselves, and I'm okay with who I am, regardless if I have ADHD or not, and not allowed people around us to say, affect us, and just be happy with ourselves. And for me, it's starting from a small thing. I wear in the morning what the stuff is making me happy. So I start my morning with a success. And this is how my approach going forward.
I love this. Coming all the way full circle to extreme honesty, not just with others, but with ourselves and what we bring to the table and the superpowers that we have. Okay, as we wrap up, remind us a little bit about UTS Group. Tell us what you're doing in that particular business. And then I'd love for you to give us your contact information, because I know people really want to connect with you on what we talked about today.
Yeah, so UTS Group is our security integration. It's a business doing security. Related to automation, business, and kind of the mentoring consultation I do, it's under Matador. People can reach out to me on my LinkedIn. I post content daily about different hacks and processes that I built, and even for my morning routine, how I build it to help me as a person that have ADHD. So Andre Ankri, exactly as my name, under LinkedIn, or on my email for Andre, ANDRE, at utsgroup.ca. And again, they can reach out to me directly. I would love to help.
Fantastic. This has been such a great conversation, Andre. I think you're going to have to come back later this year so we can expand on some of the things that we touched on just a little bit today. Would you be willing to do that?
I would love to. It will be a pleasure.
I would love that. All right, you guys, as always, I will put all of Andre's contact information in the show notes. If you're looking for him on LinkedIn, it's ANDRE ANKRI. That's how you'll find him on LinkedIn. Again, the links will be in the show notes if you want to just point and click if you're at your computer. Again, Andre, thank you for your time today. It has been my pleasure to host you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Looking forward to meeting with you again. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today. If you found value in this conversation that I had with Andre, please share it with a fellow entrepreneur, veteran, or Houston business leader ready to grow. Be sure to follow, rate, and review the show. Of course, it helps us reach more bold business minds just like yours. And your business, your leadership, and your legacy are built one intentional step at a time. So stay inspired, stay focused, and keep building the business and the life you deserve.